All right. What is up, everybody? Happy Sunday fun day. You see, things are different right now, right? You see the walls behind me, the mirror, the flower. We're not at a Walmart tonight. As I said, usually on Sundays, we go to Walmarts or we go to any stores like that. And what we do is we go and we do live hustles, and you guys are able to see exactly what I'm getting for my Amazon business. But today, I had to put the kibosh on that. So unfortunately, today we are not going to Walmart because there is another snowstorm out here. If I could even show you, I'll show you real quick. This is outside my window. There is a lot more than the expected 3 to 5 inches, and they said we're going to get over a foot. So, because of that, we are not going out sourcing. I guess when you have a family and everything, your thoughts kind of change a little bit. So I put up a poll on the YouTube community, and overwhelmingly, out of the choices of the type of videos, because I still wanted to go live tonight, I still wanted to connect with you guys and whatnot. And I was leaving option. I'm laughing because my wife, we'll get to that in a second. And I started putting choices into the poll. I said, do you guys want to do another hustle hangout? Do you want to open up more Pokemon packs? Or do you want me to kind of tell my story as far as how I got started on Amazon? And that was actually my wife's idea, because I was like, what am I going to do last minute? What am I going to do when I didn't? She was like, well, why don't you see if people want to hear your story? So I was like, okay. I said, I will tell my story. So let's see who's in the chat. And this doesn't mean if the weather is better tomorrow, I am definitely going to go live one of these nights in Walmart. Just not tonight due to the weather and, all that stuff. We're going to stay safe. So let's get to some of the comments. We got a bunch of comments tonight. We got a lot of people in the hustle right now. We got Cychronic Shadow, Charles Ryder, Seneda Bazan. We got Conrad. We've got Cheerleader Nay, Charles Ryder. We already said RG Slot wins in the building. We got Dustin, Christine, Cookie, JC. Talking about he got some 3-cent dinners today. Logan, Thrift and Flip, John Carlos, Aaron, JC says, love the Bitcoin hat. You on that Dogecoin train. Man, can we just address Dogecoin real quick? Listen, Dogecoin is definitely a hype coin. I have Dogecoin. Don't get it twisted, though. It will tank. It is worth nothing. I just need you guys to understand that. Apple juice in the building. Is it possible that it goes to $1? Sure, anything's possible, right? But Bitcoin over Dogecoin any day. Weather kill me in Ohio. Yeah, man, this weather is really a damper. Watching from Michigan. You have to send my first Drifter. We're waiting for you. We're waiting for the update, man. You're gonna get that first FBA shipment in. Bangor, Maine in the house. And Bucks for the win. Yeah, listen, throw in the chat. Who you guys got for today's Super Bowl? You got Mahomes or you got Brady? Look, Brady gave us 6 championships to the Pats. I got to stick with my man Brady. I think Brady's going to pull it. But the thing is, if anybody was to defeat Brady, it would be Mahomes. So it's going to be interesting to see tonight. I don't see the Doge as a good investment. Yeah, it's definitely not a good investment. But, ride the hype train. But just understand the risks. Let's see. All right, cool. So guys, this is what we're gonna do. The way I'm gonna, and somebody said they like my shirt. Thanks. It's actually my own design. You know what I mean? The lion, the king of the jungle. We had this for some of the merch that's gonna be coming out. So stay tuned. There will be merch. So, where do we start? So, a lot of people want to know how I started my Amazon business. It was kind of like, it was pretty spontaneous. So it started off with watching YouTube videos. So I started watching Reezy Resells. I was watching the Side Hustle Network. I was watching, what's his name? Steve Rakin Profit. I was catching him back in his earlier days of book buying when he would host the Connecticut meetups. I was watching a bunch of other resellers, and I said to myself, I'm like, there's no way, especially like Reezy, because Reezy was always killing it. And I said to myself, I'm like, there's no way Reezy's making that money. There's no way he's selling these books and this and that. Like, if it was that easy, right, then Reezy, why would anybody be doing it, right? It's like, I had that, I was always raised, you got to work hard, and you got to get a good job, and a college degree helps, and like, you got to get in a certain field of business, and you need to like, you make sure your job offers benefits and all this other stuff of why you need to work for somebody else. My father, very old school, he comes from working with his hands, retired firefighter, and the guy could build anything. He could fix cars, he could build additions. Listen, those of you that have dads that are old school with the old school mindset back in the day, they could build a city with their bare hands. You know what I mean? But you're taught early that you need to like work for somebody, get a good job, maybe go to college, all this other stuff, get benefits and whatnot. So I was kind of always groomed and trained to have this good job. And if I didn't have this good job, then I was going to be a complete bum, right? So fast forward through life, I picked up, and this is all going to tie into Amazon and why I'm the way I am and how I became the way I am, okay? Real quick, brief history. From the age of 17 to 28, 29, I was a local DJ here in Boston. I've DJed in New York, Connecticut, and whatnot. And the reason why I tell you that is because a lot of those nights that you're hired to DJ, you're expected to promote yourself. You're expected to go out there, spread the word, right? You want to tell people, come to your night. You run a guest list. You get paid per guest list, right? And that was all fun and good and everything, right? And that worked up until around, until I was about maybe 24-ish or so, 23. I got a job at 27. I worked at, was it 27? Well, I have to think now. Listen, I'm a fossil right now. I feel like a fossil. 2017, we're going to fast forward it up, you know what I mean? 2017, I got a job working at Saks Fifth Avenue as a personal shopper. Commission sales, right? So like my whole life, I feel like I've been a salesperson, whether I'm selling myself as a DJ, bringing them in. I've always had that sales mentality, right? And then as I worked in Saks Fifth Avenue, no, not 2017, I'm sorry. 2007. Sorry. 2007, I got the job at Saks Fifth Avenue. Yep, 2007. I was 27. Do the math. So, and then 2010 came. I worked at Saks till 2011, but 2010 came. I've met my wife at Saks Fifth Avenue, and I had like an epiphany moment. And I was like, okay, I like this girl. If I'm going to ever be serious and have a future one day, I'm going to have to get like not a real job, but just a more stable job, because when you work in commission sales, your paycheck can be $200 or it can be $2,000. You know what I mean? It depends on commissions. And I've worked through the whole 2008, 2009. I've worked through that whole collapse of nobody's buying luxury goods. So I ended up getting a bank job and I ended up taking a big pay cut. This is all going to tie in, okay? Ended up getting a bank job. It was probably the only job that I've held where I didn't necessarily have to sell myself. I just had to be good at something. You know what I mean? And I started as a teller, literally started as a teller. And that was the only way the bank was going to hire me. At the time, I didn't have a degree. You know what I mean? So the bank wanted to hire me as a teller, so I took it. Worked my way up to management. Fast forward to 2000, I think it was 2016. 2016, I had my first bank manager job. And, I've been a bank manager for a long time since then. And you come across people, all different types of people, okay? You come across all different types of people. And when I say different types of people, I mean people that are either good to work with or not good to work with. You know what I mean? There's a lot of that in the banking industry. So one of the things that I realized, and this is where it ties in, was that watching Reezy Resells and Side Hustle Network and Rake and Profit and all these other guys doing this, working for themselves, I started to think to myself, do I want to get back into the business of sales and selling myself? It seems like there's a lot of work involved right here. Right now I'm comfortable. I got a great paying job. I can support my family. Like everything's good. You know what I mean? We're talking 6-figure job. You know what I mean? We're not talking McDonald's money. We're talking a good career with 6-figure job. So I said to myself, I'm going to take $20 on my lunch break and I'm going to go next door to the library, because Reezy was doing books, Rakin was doing books, everybody was doing books, you know what I mean? And I took $20 next door to the library, and I spent $8. I spent my entire 30-minute lunch break scanning books in the library, and this library seemed to have gems. I bought a ton of, not a ton, I bought 16 50-cent books, right? I spent $8. I'll never forget it. The guy in there I knew from coming into the bank, and I gave him a $20 bill, and I'll never forget it. He goes, "You don't want to get any more books?" I said, "No, I'm going to get these for now." And I explained to him what I was going to try to do, and I was like, I don't know how these people are making money, but we're going to try it. So literally gave me $12 change back. I spent $8. I took those books back to my office in the bank, waited for my day to be over, and then on my commute home, by the way, my commute to work back and forth was literally 4 hours. 2 hours in to Boston, 2 hours back. Driving to the train, taking the train in, taking the train back, driving home. It was not fun. 4 hours out of your day for years, all right? You want to talk about wasted time off your life, right? So I started listening to like podcasts and YouTube videos on this commute. And coming home with those books in my hands, I was watching Reezy, and there was a video that he did. I don't even think he still has it up on his YouTube. I'll never forget it. It was one that he was traveling. He was in a hotel room, you know what I mean? He was getting his drink on, you know what I'm saying? But he was talking so much knowledge and it wasn't dumbing down so that you can understand it, but it felt like it was so authentic. Because listen, we've all had those friends. We drink, right? We start pouring out our feelings. Like this guy's video was so genuine that it just stuck with me. You know what I mean? He was very passionate about it. And I said to myself, holy crap. I'm like, maybe this will work, Okay, let's fast forward a little bit more now. Take those books. I send them into FBA. I did the free account, right? So I paid the 99-cent per item surcharge, because when you sign up to Amazon, you can sign up as an individual or you can sign up as a professional. Obviously, it's my first thing. I want to try it for free. I'll pay the 99 cents. I didn't plan on selling over 40 products in a month. I get 16 50-cent crappy books, or at least I thought they were crappy, in my hands. And then set up for the free account. Signed up as just like a sole prop. I literally probably just made it up. And then I listed these books. Now, I didn't realize the cost of prepping and shipping into Amazon. So that $8 ended up flipping. I think it was $48. It was almost $50. And I remember taking I remember taking the books and looking at the shipping, and I think the shipping was like $7. It wasn't much. It was like $6, $7, something like that. But still, I was like $7, and I was like, where are they gonna take that out of? I was like, I didn't make any money with Amazon yet. So I ended up sending it in, and they ended up taking that off my debit card, which was fine because you have to connect the debit card. Took that $48, $50, flipped it into like, it ended up being like, I think 100 and, it turned into like, it was either like 90 something or 100 something. I can't remember the exact number, but it was, we'll just call it 100. And I was like, okay, all right, whatever. Maybe it was just luck. So literally the next couple of days, I started going to the library again. I started scanning all their books that they had for sale. I visited the local library in my town. I picked up, I ended up packing just one small box of books. And I remember like taking this. Now this box is going to cost me $21. And I'm like, oh man, I just made $100, but not going to give back 21, right? Tell me why that $100 turned into like 300 something. So then my eyes start opening, and I'm like, okay, all right, maybe this could work. So let's fast forward. So that 300 flipped it into 500. 500 flipped it into 700. 700 flipped it into like, I think 1,200. Once I hit over 1,000, I told myself, I've always wanted to do like retail arbitrage, and I started watching other YouTubers too. And once I hit over $1,000, I said I was going to take $100 out of that $1,000, and I was just gonna start, because listen, books was working for me, right? Books was working, and I didn't want to try something different because I was nervous, and I was like, okay, what am I gonna, I don't want to like break away from this product that I'm currently making money of, take my money, move it into something else that I don't know, right? You start like self-doubting yourself, you start getting scared, you start getting nervous, you don't want to lose it all, right? Once I hit that 1,000, I took $100 and I started going into Walmart clearance, and I started getting like the real cheap items, you know what I mean? The couple dollar items, like $7 to $5, $5 to $7 to $10 items, nothing over that. And started trying to flip those while still doing books. Before I go on, let me just check the chat. We got a lot of people in the chat. Let me just see if there's anybody that has any questions or making any comments about days ago waiting for my Amazon process. I'm excited. Leslie, glad you're getting started. That's awesome. Jag says he wants the Chiefs. Okay, we'll see. I mean, listen, they're two great teams. It's going to be a fun Super Bowl tonight. I think so, too. I think it's going to be a really good Super Bowl. You got two of the best quarterbacks. One, the greatest. But Mahomes, all right. Let's see. Awesome. I think Bugs. Yes, I would love to hear this. How your vacation? Will you have large size shirts like 4X? Yeah, we're gonna be doing a lot of merch, and the sizes are gonna go up to like 3, 4X. Yes. Hello, Richie and the gang. What's up, Carlos Spivey? How you doing? My son would love your shirt. He is a Leo and horoscope. Leo the line. Okay, that's awesome. How do you ship in bulk without eating your profits? You make sure you have enough. Thrift and Flip says, my dad's a crackhead. Man, I'm sorry to hear that. And I'm not trying to laugh. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Life throws you curveballs, and it's up to all of us and how we deal with things. So I went from working with Amazon in Arizona as an order pick, moved back from California. I started Amazon FBA now. Good. That's what's up. Good for you, Aaron. Getting your hustle. I've been amazed at how you do your hustle. It's a challenge here in CA. I bet, man. Even I'm an MA, right? And listen, there's no politics in what I'm about to say, but I know like in Massachusetts, it's a very liberal state, so they do things a little different here. And I know California is also very liberal too, so it's very similar where they want to do like lockdowns and all this other stuff. And whatever their reasoning is, it's really hurting a lot of small businesses and people in general. But as long as we're all safe, That's really what counts, right? Amazon can change your life if you push yourself. Absolutely. When you were choosing your books, what sales rank would you not bother with at all? Yeah, Randy. So when I was going through those books, I was watching the videos. I was told to stay under a million, but don't be afraid to go to 2 to 3 million in books, just because the 2 million rank will sell. It will. You know, there's 161 million, I think, in books. It's something like stupid. You know what I mean? I think even 2 million is still under like 2%. You know what I mean, of the category. But I was always, the rule of thumb, I guess, that everybody always said is to stay under a million, and definitely stay under 500,000 if you can. You know, it just all depends on the content of the book. You know what I mean? Because different content can bring different demand for books. What up, brother? What up, King RL? We got Cole and Jax. Hey, yo, Logan, you still mad, bro? Still mad at what? Are you keeping this up? I can't watch right now, but I'll be back. All right, so yeah, we'll be going till probably about 6:15. Thank you for taking the time to give us the details. Yeah, no problem. I'm laughing because I was just thinking about listing on Amazon. Aloha from Hawaii. Hi. I'm trying my man. I like your attitude. Need help on shipping on bulk. All right, so we'll get back to the questions in a little bit. Can you explain the shipping to Amazon? Yeah, so I'll go through that too. Let's see. Vieira 105 says, started watching your wife, and she had said something on one of her videos about you, and that's how I found you. So happy I did. Love watching your videos. Vieira 105, really glad you're here. Glad you're enjoying my wife's content, and glad you were able to, I guess, cross collab, right? You see my wife, and now you see me. So thanks for being here. Appreciate that. I'll definitely let her know that you watch her videos as well. Melissa says, you do both RA and OA. Which do you prefer? I like RA. OA is great. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with buying anything low and being able to resell it. I like RA better because I get to get out into the stores, and it's more fun. You know what I mean? I just think it's more fun. Step-by-step video on Amazon shipping steps. Yes, Anthony, I am working on that. For everybody that's wanting a video prep and shipping video, I am going to work on that, but it will not be out until March. I have a lot going on this month, and that's the type of video that's going to take a little bit of focus and time, and I want to make sure I do it right for you guys. So stay tuned for that. Thank you for sharing your story. Much respect. Leslie, thank you for being here. I just threw in the towel with FBA. From now on, just collectibles and TCGs on my own website. Robbie, I don't know. I mean, listen, it's not a short game. Not sure how long you've been selling for, but I've been selling for 3 years. It's definitely not a short game. And listen, I really believe, I put a post on my IG. I took the words from Darker Disrespect. If anybody does gaming or even follows him just because they like his attitude or they like his character or they think he's entertaining, you know, part of his intro says, I'm at the tippity top of the mountain and I'm literally only halfway up. Okay? I could be doing this for 10 years and I'll still feel like I have a lot to learn and a lot to go through in order to get that. So I hope you reconsider, get back in the FBA game and understand that it is not it's not a short game. You know, it's a long game, and I'm gonna touch on that as I continue my story. So let me continue my story now. So we stopped with the $1,000 at Walmart, right? We took $100 out of our $1,000 and we started sprinkling it into RA, you know, retail arbitrage. Okay. So now I'm selling books. I learned about a site called booksalefinder.com. This website tells you all the libraries that participate, not all the libraries that have book sales, but all the libraries that participate in booksalefinder.com. After this live, I'll link it in the bottom if you want to check it out. You can actually look state by state for all the different towns and their libraries that participate by listing their book sales on this website. What I did was I was looking on that website, I was planning my weekends accordingly, and I started going to these library sales, and I had no idea that they had, you know, $5 bag sales, they had $10 bag sales. And when I say bag sale, that means you would go to the library, you have what looks like a paper shopping bag that you would get at a supermarket, and you'd be able to take this bag into the library and fill it up as much as you can for $5, $7, whatever their price was. You fill that bag up for that price. So I was filling up, 20, 25 bags a library on a Saturday, doing the same thing on a Sunday. Sometimes I would hit 2 book sales. At one time, I think the most bags I ever had in my garage was like 60 something bags of books. My whole garage floor was all covered with books. And, to process those took a lot of time. It was very time consuming, but well worth it. So now we started scaling up a little bit. But I hit like a plateau. Like I hit like this peak, and when I hit around $5,000 in my account that I had made, I couldn't get past this 5,000 because I wasn't getting the money in quick enough. And I'm like, how the heck am I gonna get? How am I gonna scale this business first of all, right? There's a couple options I have. One, I can start taking out of our savings account and dip it into this business that I really didn't know nothing about still. That I was still learning. But if I lose that money, now I've lost my savings, right? I was like, well, I could take a 401k loan from the bank. And I was like, but if the business doesn't work, it'll take me forever to pay it back and all this other stuff. And I was trying to think, how can I do this? And I said to myself, well, if I want to use money that's not already saved, I need to get or do something for a second form of business. So I decided, with a little bit of research, I decided to sign up for Uber Eats, okay, which was the food delivery. And I said to myself, I'm like, man, I got a great paying job. I just don't have the time to do all this stuff. What do I do? So literally for a year, when I first started, for a year, I was going to work. When I came off the train, I was hold on, I lost my train of thought. I got off the train, got in my car, and I started driving for the dinner route. And I literally would stay out till like 9, 10 o'clock. Uber Eats delivery. I never drove anybody in the car. You know what I mean? I wasn't like doing that taxi thing. But the food delivery, and then it started to like pay. Then I decided, I said, there's another app called DoorDash. I was like, I know I'm making good money with Uber Eats, but it was taking up so much time, right? But the money was coming in. I got a second cell phone, right? I'm recording on my iPhone, and I still have 2 phones just to remind me of how much I hustled to try to get to where I am today. And I had DoorDash on one phone, and I had Uber Eats on the other phone. And I literally, and I promise you, I am not exaggerating when I tell you I would drive on Saturdays 6, 7, 8 in the morning and come home 6, 7, 8, 10 at night on Saturdays, and the same thing on Sunday. And I wouldn't get home till sometimes 9, 10 o'clock on Monday through Friday. Like literally no days off. My Hustleholics know that's the one reason I have that team no sleep, that little no sleep there, because literally I don't sleep. Like obviously I sleep, right? But the motto is like, you can't stop, right? So now, after a year of doing Amazon, now I'm making an extra $1,000 to $1,500 extra that I'm dipping into. You guys know Team No Sleep. Now I'm taking all that money and I'm dipping it into my business, right? So then a year is coming up after driving and doing all this, missing those good nights with your daughter, right? Only having to do FaceTime because I'm on the road, not being there. Tuck your girl or your boys in at night, sacrificing, missing dinner all the time, getting up, missing breakfast, right? Waking up, missing everybody getting up, right? There's a lot of sacrifice, man. Like I felt like a year of my life was literally not seeing anybody. And like by the time I got home, yeah, I would see my wife. We'd be up for a little bit, but sometimes she'd be sleeping because I'd come home 10, 11 o'clock and she's knocked out. The kids are knocked out. And it was hard on her for a little bit because she was putting Valentina to bed and doing everything else. And when you don't have that your partner, your husband in the house like that, it could get stressful. So I did that for like a year. I don't regret it because it really showed me a lot. And then I took that business, the money from that business, and 100% dumped it into Amazon. So after a year, I could able to. Got Alexa talking in the background. After doing that and taking that money, funneling it in, now I have a sustainable. Well, nothing is sustainable, right? Nothing's guaranteed. But right now, we're doing really well. Where after a year of doing that, now I don't drive Uber Eats or anything like that. But it was kind of cool because I could take the time I was driving and make stops at like TJ Maxx, Marshalls, and whatnot, right? So that's kind of like my story on where I got to and how I got today. You know, and one of the things that I'll tell you is like when you start Amazon, you have to consider shipping cost. You know what I mean? You have to consider shipping cost. It's the one thing that people just don't think about. And a lot of people, when they ask me about shipping videos and all that type of stuff, it's all about weight. It's weight, you know? Like, you don't want to ship 20 items. You don't want to ship 50 items. You want to wait till you have 200, 300, 400 items. Because the heavier your shipment, then the heavier your shipment, the lower cost you're going to be able to cost it in for your business. You know what I mean? It's all weight based. Let me get into the chat now. Stop before we. Let's see what we got. We have a lot of people throwing in comments and all types of. And second of all, listen, I know I hopped right into it, but thank you all for joining me on this Sunday night, right? We're getting ready for the Super Bowl. A lot of people are asking if I got the Bucks or the Chiefs. It's going to be the Bucks, man. Brady, listen, Brady was the savior for New England. He's going to be the savior for Tampa Bay. Him and Gronkowski, it's just, you know, whatever. It's going to be the Buccaneers. Tampa Bay will win tonight. Just saying. Doesn't matter how much you're from New York, or it doesn't matter if you're from some other part of the country and you guys hate the Patriots, because the whole world hates the Patriots, because when you were the best, everybody hates you, right? 6 rings. Count them. 6. All right? That's what Brady gave us. Brady's going to pull through. Let's see. Been amazed at how you do your hustle. Hold on. What up, brother? Let me see. Where am I? Aloha from Hawaii. Hello from Hawaii. Hello from Boston. Need help shipping in bulk. Don't know if I can do this thing intently. I mean, listen, it's not easy. Like running an Amazon business, it's not easy. Oh, I left out a couple things, but as I think of it, I'll let you know too. You know, when I started to get pretty decent numbers, that's when I decided to I got an LLC, because I said to myself, I really love the process of getting these items, having your own business and whatnot. And I always knew, literally, that this was going to be something that I wanted to do on the long term. So I did. I just went to LegalZoom. I filed for an LLC, paid my fees. And LegalZoom, you don't even have to pay the full thing up front. You can do like 2-3 installments, and you'll get your LLC. Now, you don't need to have an LLC to sell on Amazon. You can have a sole proprietorship, and you can sign up for a pro account if you want to, whatnot. You don't need to have an LLC. That was just my choice. I would do your own research and investigate if an LLC is going to work for your situation, or if that's something you want to invest in to do. That's something you should look into and make that decision on your own. Nobody should tell you what you should do. Can you explain the shipping to Amazon? Yeah, so Rosie, without showing you, like I'm gonna do in a video that's gonna come out in March. Shipping basically goes like this: you scan an item with your Amazon seller app. Okay, that item's gonna come up and it's gonna tell you what it's selling for on Amazon, the fees that Amazon charges, and then equals your gross proceeds. Your gross proceeds is the money that's gonna go into your pocket. Well, kind of, right? Because that gross proceeds does not include your cost of goods. So your gross proceeds are not your profit. That's not what you profit. A lot of people get this confused. They say, oh, I can sell it for $24.99. minus $10 in fees, I make $14.99 profit. Wrong. That's completely wrong. Okay? Because if you paid $10 for that item and you sold it for $24.99 and you have $10 in fees, your gross proceeds is $14.99, and you need to minus the $10 that you bought it for, so your profit is $4.99. But it's not really that either now, and this is why. You have to incorporate shipping. You have to incorporate if you had to prep that item. Did you need to poly bag it? Did you need to label it? Are you paying Amazon to do any of those things? Do you need to use bubble wrap? Is it a fragile item? Is it glass? Is it something that could break? These all cost money. And the only way you're going to find out what the cost is per item is by doing a little bit of math. So what you do is, and I've showed this on some of my earlier videos, but you take the weight of the box, okay, and say, I can't think off the top of my head, if I don't know, if it's going to cost you $10 to ship a box of 10 items, right? $10 to ship 10 items. That's easy math. You know that's going to cost you $1 per item shipping, right? Because you're shipping it to Amazon. So that $1, you have to tack that on. So now your $4.99 just went down to $3.99 profit. Oh, it was like a special scented candle that you got? Oh, okay. So that means you need bubble wrap. And maybe after you do the math for the pieces of bubble wrap or whatever, maybe it's 50 cents. So now you're down to $3.49. Oh, you had to put a label on it? Oh, and you need to throw a poly bag or whatever it is. So now it's down to $2.99. So that $24.99 item that you're selling is now making you $2.99 profit. Okay? $2.99 profit. $24.99 gets you your $10 back. You get $10 back because that's what you spent on the item. And then at the end of everything, just say you needed all that stuff. $2.99 is the extra that you put in your pocket for profit. $10 back, reinvest, $2.99 profit, pocket, reinvest. Okay? That's basically a quick little version of how that's how that works. You know what I mean? And that's something I'll explain a little bit better when I'm actually able to show you, and I'll be able to do the math on calculator, and I'll put it on video for you. But that's how you have to break it down. Like, people don't think of these things. When you go sourcing and you go to 10 Walmarts, what do you think? Is your vehicle just running on air? Or did you have to put $50 in your gas tank? Okay, so that $50 that you just burned through driving around for 8 hours, now you have to factor that into your cost of goods. All these things, there's all these different, and listen, I'm not trying to discourage anybody, and I'm not trying to scare anybody off, but this is real talk. This is real life, right? That's why, like, when people go out, people get upset when they don't find anything, because you're spending money, your time, your gas, you're spending everything, okay? You have to think of these things. But you need to factor everything into your item. That's why we clear shelves. That's why we take every one of them. That's why we don't take one or two. We're spending money. We're spending our time to get out to these stores, to get these items, to resell them to other people that need the item, whether it's in a different part of the country. I sell to Mexico. I sell to Canada. Okay? So somebody who's not buying it here in Massachusetts, they might need it over in California. And you know what? They should pay a premium. I'm the one going out doing the shopping. I'm the one going out using my time, wasting my gas. So I should. And this is geared to all those people that leave comments that are like, oh, hey, you're such a this, you're a that, you take all these items. That's right. I do. And I will. It's my business. It's my time. That's what it is. You sitting in front of a computer, talking ish, blah, 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 blah. You ain't doing nothing. You know what I mean? Passion. We love this business. Salud. Let's get to some more comments. Nice love story. Hello from Gwinnett County, Georgia. I love Georgia, Susan. I think Georgia is so beautiful. I love Georgia. I spent a year of my life there 20 years ago. And I love Georgia. I'm waiting on my 1.8K payout, just starting out. Pug King, good for you. Make sure you take that, reinvest it, make the right choices, do what you got to do. Ever find an old book you had a hunch had value but couldn't find it online? Yeah, I mean, listen, books are dead cheap. So, you know, I never minded picking up books and putting it online. Thank you for sharing your story. Much respect. Thanks, Leslie. And listen, there's a lot more to it. This is just a short version I could fit in this type of live, or else I'd be talking all night. You know what I mean? Let's see. On the app, it says I will make a profit, but then when I sell the items, the shipping and those other Amazon fees, they don't tell us, screw us too. So my profit goes down as an FBM. I mean, that's why it's very important when you're prepping your items to make sure you prep them correctly. You always want to prep your items correctly or pay Amazon to do it. But like I always say, people that are just starting out, I do not recommend paying Amazon for anything other than shipping your items in. If Amazon's charging you for fees, you need to break that down in the reports. Find out what it is that you're doing wrong that Amazon wants you to do better and fix that. You know, maybe an item needed some kind of prepping and you didn't think it needed prepping, but maybe it needed prepping, so Amazon's going to prep that and they're going to charge you for that. Almighty Crack. That's a funny name. Just sent my first inventory today. Found some fire logs for $2 on clearance in Walmart. Selling for $17. Yeah, man. I love the fire logs. They sell really well. They sell all year round, and they sell at a good price. The only thing is that, they weigh a lot. You know what I mean? But still, great find. Good profit on that. Congrats. Sarah says you should totally do a group chat on Telegram too for members. Yeah, I think we're gonna do that. I think you might have brought that up before, and I'm definitely looking into like a Telegram chat or a Discord group or something like that. I think that would be beneficial. I think that would be cool. Let's see. I've been doing RA for about a month, but still love sourcing books and media. Kyle, I books are not glamorous, right? Books are dirty. My allergies. I'm allergic to dust mites, so you can imagine what I'm like in a library. Okay, filthy, dirty, nasty libraries, and I still love sourcing books. I do. There's no better ROI that you can buy in bulk like that, where it's so inexpensive. But buying books, it's like a bulk game. You need to buy a lot of books in order to turn a really good profit. We're talking like thousands and thousands of books. But there's such an abundance of books that I still love books too. What's your wife's YouTube? I will throw it down in the chat for those of you who seems like all you ladies want to check out my wife's YouTube.
I just got a message from one of my followers saying she's watching you.
What's her name? We'll shout her out. My wife said one of her followers is Maria, watching my wife's YouTube now, watching this live. Maria, I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much.
Same person before, maybe?
Well, one was it said Vieira, so I'm not sure if Maria is last name Vieira or whatnot, but and then
yes, that's her middle name. It looks like, or last name.
Cool.
Maiden name, I don't know.
Awesome. Let's see. So I just put my wife's channel down there if you ladies want to check it out. Need to get back to the store. Thank you, Randy. Sinclair, violence, speed, momentum. Like, listen, I get my inspiration from some of the most random. Eleni, can she just lower that a little bit, please? Can she just lower that a little bit, please? Thank you. So I get a lot of my inspiration from random and various people. Like, I'll give you a list, right? I still love Reezy. He's still the OG. No matter what I like or dislike, he's always got my respect forever. Reezy resells, he's always got my respect, okay? Dr. Disrespect. While I'm not a gamer, the idea that Dr. Disrespect puts on a toupee wig, not a toupee, what do you call those things? Oh my God, what do you call it? Business in the front, party in the back. I can't think. Mullet. Thank you. He puts on a mullet wig. He's got a mustache that he grows with his glasses, and he gets very angry. And he's like this old '80s guy who like plays video games. His whole persona, like his whole, it's genius. It's because it's such the stereotypical of what a gamer doesn't look like, right? Like a gamer, when you talk gaming, gamers are usually young guys. Only young guys game, and they don't dress in mullets and all this other stuff. Like the way his production is, like that's what I look at. That's where I get my inspiration from. His production, his character, his IDGAF attitude, right? Like it's just like that's part of the inspiration too. Another guy, Pokerev. Pokerev does lives, and another guy that I think is absolutely ingenious. Like he's so genius for what he does, because what he does is he takes old Pokemon packs or new Pokemon packs, he sells them to people online on his store, and then he opens the packs up online. He opens other people's packs online. So he's getting paid for the packs. He's getting paid from YouTube. He's getting paid from super chats. He's getting paid from donations. He's getting paid from his hot sauce he just launched. He's getting paid for his merchandise. He's getting a lot of money just from doing random stuff. It's really genius. So I get my inspiration from a lot of people. And I would implore you to not put all your eggs in one basket and really look at what other people are doing in their specialty. Like Dr. Disrespect is video games. And like to put into construct, like Ninja, right, is probably the most well-known video gamer, right? And what does Ninja have? He's got blue hair, and he's got his gameplay. People watch him for his gameplay. When you watch Dr. Disrespect, you're watching gameplay, but like somebody like me, I don't sit there and watch his gameplay. I'll put him on in the background, and I'll literally just listen to him. And like, I don't know, I can't explain it to you. If you guys want to be inspired, I would implore you to look in different niches or whatever, and find out who some of the best people are, and listen to how they perfect their goal. Let me see. Whoa, we have a $50 super chat from Derek Mann. It says, much respect for the hustle. Derek, that's too much, Derek. Much respect for the hustle and much success in 2021. But Chiefs all the way, LOL. Hey, look, man, my team is the Pats anyways. Brady's on the Bucs, so I have to go with the Bucs. But listen, I appreciate your super chat, man. That was very kind of you. Thank you for that $50 super chat. Let's see. I just followed your wife on YouTube. Always watch her on Instagram. Awesome. Let's see. Sinclair throwing up the 8-bit flames. Those are from those 8-bit flames are from a video game. Can you guys guess what video game that's from? Take a guess. Oh, those actually might be 16-bit. Those might be 16-bit flames, but it's from the same game I was thinking of. Yeah, Doctor is an entertainer. Yeah, so I get my inspiration. It's all about storytelling. Dr. Disrespect tells a story. Yeah, and I love his production, man. It's just crazy, Let's see, Rich. Thank you for this content. Great stuff. Should I get an LLC? Says Samir. You don't need an LLC. I would definitely. This is what I would say to anybody who's wondering about getting an LLC or not getting an LLC. This is what I would say to you. I would say this. Please do your research and make sure that you understand how Amazon works. Understand certain categories. Do your research, right? Do the free account first where you can sell up to 40 products a month. Experiment a little bit. You know what I mean? Experiment a bunch of times, as much as you can. If you feel like you want to go to the pro and pay the $40 up front per month, instead of selling up to 40 items with a 99-cent surcharge each item, because Amazon's going to get their 40 no matter what. The other account is free. That's why I say the other account's free, but it's not free because you pay 99-cent surcharge on each. I call it a surcharge, but whatever. It's an extra Amazon charge, and you could sell up to 40 items, and Amazon's going to get their $40. Or you could pay the 40 up front, like a $40 membership, and sell unlimited products. So what I would do is make sure you do your research and understand how it works. The two things that you definitely need as a beginner, the very, besides opening up an Amazon seller account, the next investment you should make in your Amazon business is signing up and paying for Keepa.com. You will need Keepa.com. Keepa.com helps make decisions based on different products. And I'm also going to make a Keepa video that shows you how I interpret and how I read Keepa graphs on certain products. Keepa is going to tell you, literally, it tells you this product sells this many times a month. This is the average price. This is the lowest price it's sold within 30 days. This is the highest price it's sold. These are the sales ranks. You get a graph. You know where the buy box has been. There's a lot of data on there. And Keepa.com should be your second investment after you sign up for Amazon, okay? You don't necessarily need a membership like, you don't necessarily need a membership with Inventory Lab. You can use, I don't use Inventory Lab. The only reason why I pay for Inventory Lab is so I can use Scoutify 2, because I like how Scoutify 2 lets you know the percentage of the category that product is placed in. I like to stay within the top 5%. Ideally, I like to stay within the top 1% of any category, you know? But like I said, even just looking at that doesn't tell you all the data, because a product could just sell and the sales rate can get slammed down, all of a sudden land in the top 1%. But you look at Keepa and you're like, oh, it only sells 3 times a month. How is it at 1%? Well, because it's slammed down. It must have just had a sale, so the sales rank decreased. That's why. So you need to look at all the data. So Amazon seller app, Keepa.com should be your second investment. Your third investment, if you're serious about retail arbitrage, all right, then you should start with the small basic membership to BrickSeek. Okay, BrickSeek is going to help you know the store's inventory levels of Walmart, Target, Lowe's, and look, BrickSeek is not perfect, but if you're serious about RA, then you should be going into like 5 to 10 stores a day when you can. At least 25 stores a week you should be going into, and BrickSeek will most certainly pay for itself over the course of the monthly subscription. You don't need to jump right into the extreme version, right? You don't need to get any version. Maybe you want to join a reseller group where they share bolos and stuff, right? Maybe that's where you think your money's better off. Another thing I would do that doesn't cost anything is I would definitely join some Amazon FBA groups, some Facebook groups. Definitely follow some hashtags on Instagram. Follow like Amazon FBA, or follow like entrepreneurship or something, right? Something that can help get you geared into motivate you, something that's gonna help you keep going, right? Because you don't want to give up, man. The worst thing you could do is give up, and you know what? That's just what it is. Let's get into the chat. Let's see. Hey, listen, I got my little girl in the background, so sorry, I'm in the dining room. You might hear my little 1.5-year-old screaming in the back. She's learning to talk more than me. So if you hear her screaming, it's just daddy life, you know what I'm saying? If you're trying to run a business, you're a dad, you're a husband, you gotta multitask, you know what I'm saying? I don't have a streaming room, but my next house will definitely have my own office and streaming office. Bolo. So so I just saw something coming up before I get into the scroll back. Bolo means be on the lookout. Be on the lookout. Bolo, be on the lookout. And we say bolo because when we come across an item that isn't on sale for everybody to see, or kind of like we'll say hidden clearance. We say bolo. Be on the lookout for this item because it is not marked for sale. It's hidden clearance. It's a great item to keep your eye out for, to bring you money. Bolo. Be on the lookout. The second most question I get is, what apps do I use when I'm scanning in the store? So when I'm in Walmart, I have a bunch of apps open. I have the Walmart app. I have the Amazon seller app. I have Scoutify 2 up, which Keepa is integrated with Scoutify 2. And that's it for that. Mostly all the other stores, Dollar Tree, I'll have the Amazon seller app and Scoutify 2 up. That way I can use Keepa data and all that other stuff. Let's get to some of the chat here. Yeah, again, listen, Derek, man, thank you again for that super. That was really kind of you. Super Mario Doc just got a big deal with FanDuel. Yeah, he did. He just announced it with FanDuel. Questions. I put my AZ Biz on hold about 2 years ago, jumping back in. Is it true you can ship all inventory into one warehouse instead of a bunch? So it's yes and no. Yes and no. So a lot of times Amazon, when you ship a lot of products, they'll break up your shipments to go to different warehouses, different parts of the country. There is an option in settings called inventory placement. And I'm not sure, let me see exactly what it's called. I have my computer right here. You go into settings and then you go into fulfillment by Amazon, I think. You go to settings, you go to fulfillment by Amazon. Nope, maybe you don't. Oh wait, shipping and returns, shipping settings. Is that it? I haven't done it so long because I don't use it. But it's called inventory placement. Let me just see if this is for... no, that's not it. So it's settings... maybe shipping settings. My little girl's a demon. Ba 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 ba. You hear her, right? So I think it's fulfilled by Amazon. Okay, yeah. So it is. So it's settings, and then fulfillment by Amazon, and then you go to what's called inbound settings. So again, highlight settings, top right hand corner, scroll all the way down to fulfillment by Amazon, and then the second square, the second block down, it says inbound settings. And then the first line, it says inventory placement option. When you click edit next to inbound settings on the right hand side, it's going to come up your current settings, which is the default setting is called distributed inventory placement. And it reads, Amazon will determine the distribution of your inventory among one or more fulfillment centers during the shipment creation process. This may include multiple shipments for individual seller SKUs. The next option is called inventory placement service. This reads, all quantities of a single seller SKU will be assigned to a single fulfillment center determined by Amazon during the shipment creation process. A per unit service fee applies, and you can click learn now or learn more. I think it's 10 cents an item. I don't do it just because like I'm sending hundreds of items. Like, I tried it one time. I was sending 420 something items, and I did the inventory placement service, and I wrote down all my cost, and then I did the default, and it almost came out to be the same. I was paying a little bit more for shipping with the distributed inventory placement because it's more shipments. but it was being compensated by the per unit charge that I was getting. So yes, you can send it to a single thing, but it also says here, all quantities of a single seller SKU. So that means if you have 3 different SKUs, you still might be sending those to 3 different fulfillment centers because it says all quantities of a single seller SKU. So that, to me, that means if I have 50 method sprays, 75 bleaches, and I don't know, 140 disinfectant wipes, that means that I could still possibly get 3 shipments instead of sending everything into one. So it will label it down, but for RA, I just find that it doesn't work that well to do the inventory placement service because we source such a different variety of items that it could still break it up even if you have that option on, so you're paying really for nothing. So I keep mine on distributed inventory placement, except when I throw in some wholesale orders. Maybe I'll explore to see if that inventory placement's worth it, but right now I have the default option. Let's see. Give me a second here. Let's get back to the questions. Let me see. So can you talk about preparing books for shipment into Amazon? Do you need polybag them? You know, when I send books in, I just send them as is. I don't polybag the books. Ninja Turtles. How often do you check the same Walmart? I literally try to shop around as much as I can. Samir, I think I answered the LOC. We got Kyle Flanagan. Welcome to the Hustleholics game. Salute to Kyle joining the Hustleholics gang. I'll drink to that. Zelda or Castlevania? Ninja Turtles, Zelda, Castlevania. So, Joe, you were the first to hit it. It is from Zelda. Very good. Castlevania was a good guess, though, too. Derek says, pushing the positivity forward like you, bro. Much appreciated, Derek. Thank you, thank you. We got... Hold on, it just reset on me. The chat always resets on me. Let's see. Oh, wow, I didn't realize I was that far behind in the chat. Mrs. Miller says, I personally purchased a sole proprietorship to start under the advice of my sister that is an accounting controller. I get my license on Tuesday, so excited to start. Mrs. Miller, congrats. Glad you're taking the plunge, you're taking the right steps, and I wish nothing but the greatest of success to you and your business. Amazing. You've already beat 99% of the people because you took action and you're willing to start. Leslie, thanks you. Thanks for your wife. No problem. Hello, Richie. What up, Richie? What up, Enrique? Make sure you all get that liability insurance. I don't think you need Keepa. I think when you get money, then you should use Keepa for a more in-depth data. Yeah. I disagree. I really think you need Keepa. I think when you're starting out, I feel like I could have scaled a little quicker if I signed up to Keepa. A little bit more. Like if I had more data in front of me instead of just basing it off of sales rank, I might have been able to make better buying decisions. I might have been able to make better buying decisions if I had more data. You know what I mean? But don't I need LOC to buy stuff from distributors so I can get the invoice to get ungated? So, Samir, sometimes some distributors will... sometimes distributors will accept sole prop. You know, as long as you have a reselling certificate and you have a business in general, you don't necessarily need an LLC to purchase from distributors. JC says, nah, first investment should be Hustleholic Premium. Thanks, JC. Appreciate it. Can you talk about prepping books for shipment on Amazon? Did I already do that? Be on the lookout. We already covered that. Love kids. It's all good. Good. But don't I need... And thank you. You know what I mean? Thanks to everybody understanding with the kids in the background. I don't have my own kind of streaming center yet. I never really thought I would need it because all my sourcing and all my recording was done outside of the house. Diana says, what's the furthest distance you've ever traveled to a Walmart store to haul items? About an hour and a half, hour 40 minutes. Yeah, down in Connecticut. That was probably one of the farthest I've traveled. Almost 2 hours. I meant to say you're welcome. Okay. Question: don't you know to buy stuff? You find best sounds of happy children playing. Yeah, I agree. Where do I get my Bolo info from? Experience. A lot of times it's me that finds the Bolo, being outsourcing, scanning everything. Some Bolo information we get from BQOOL. But a lot of it comes from experience. You know what I mean? Hi, what do you think about Jungle Scout? What do I think about Jungle Scout? You know, I actually thought about getting it. I don't know. I've never actually used the software or the Chrome extension, but it looks great. And honestly, I mean, I've heard nothing bad about Jungle Scout from other resellers. I don't have any experience with it, but it looks great, you know. Settings and FBA, yep, we talked about that. If you have bigger items, 20 cents an item, I think. If you have 100 items, yeah. Thank you for the info. No, thank you for being here, Reds Records. Appreciate it. How do you feel about using debt? Love the videos, man. Awesome work. North Pole Sound Design says, what up, Richie? How do you feel about using debt? So as far as like maybe taking out like a business credit card or something like that and using that for purchasing power, I mean, I think it's great if you have a plan in place and you make sure that you pay down that debt. You don't want to keep debt. Sorry. You don't want to keep debt because debt costs money. There's interest on debt, right? So if you have a plan and you need, you know, if you have the right tools and you have the right data in front of you and it's something that you think is definitely going to work, then, you know, I'm not opposed to using debt for it. It's not the way that I went. I didn't want to use debt. I didn't want to use savings, and I didn't want to take out a loan because I was so unsure of myself and I was in such disbelief that I couldn't imagine that it was that at the time looking at it, we all make it look easy, right? We all make it look easy. Let me tell you something. It's not easy. There were times last year, early in the year, like before the pandemic even started really, where you make the wrong choices. And I use like mortgage money to buy items, right? So like my wife, I don't even think my wife even knows that. I use like money that we were supposed to pay our mortgage with. And I made a bet and I went and bought and sourced products and I made sure I still paid my mortgage in time. Like it could be a risky business. It's not easy. And there's a lot of hard decisions that you're going to have to make. So, you know, me personally, I didn't use debt, but, you know, I don't think it's a bad thing if you're responsible with it. You know what I mean? I'm not sure where I saw it, but I read something that you can get up to $100 in shipping to Amazon free. Is that a thing? You know what, Mrs. Miller? I don't know. I'll have to look into that. JC, I just saw a comment coming up. I know I'm reading the past ones, but JC says, what was your biggest bust? What was my biggest bust? It's when I tried to be, you know, slick daddy on Alibaba, buying $5, you know, $12. I think they were $12 Arctic Airs, and I spent like $500 something with the shipping. I bought 50 of them. They came. I'm gonna see if I can show you what they look like, because they were knockoffs. Okay, let me see if I can find it real quick. I just want to see if I can see it here. You know what? It's gonna be on my Instagram. I think I have it on my Instagram. So I ordered 50 50 of these Arctic Airs, thinking I was gonna sell something for $12 and thinking I was gonna sell it for 55. Boy, was I and I had chatted with the guy and I had said, hey, are these items exactly what's pictured on your site? Because what was pictured was the actual, as seen on TV, Arctic Air, personal coolers, and I get the chat message, yes, it's exactly as what's pictured, blah, 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 and I'm like, okay, cool. And this is what they sent me. Let me show you. So, let me just find it here real quick, Rick. Quick. Hold on. I was in such disbelief. Did I even put it on I might have not even put it on my Instagram. Oh, man. It was... No. You know what? It's not even on my Instagram. It might be in my... Give me like 30 seconds. I need to see if I can find it because you guys are going to laugh when you see what they sent to me, okay? It's so ridiculous what they sent to me. Hold on. Come on. Where are you? Arctic Air, where you at? Arctic Air. And everything was packed right. Like, I didn't even notice it at first. I didn't notice it until I took it out and I was stacking it. And I'm looking at it. And I'm like, something's wrong. What is wrong with this? And I looked even closer. And man, I'm telling you, I was so heated. I was so upset. I emailed them back. I tried to get my money back. They were disputing it. I was like, this is counterfeit. Alibaba, man, you need to be careful when you go to that thing, man. That's a whole other animal, Alibaba. I would, the next time I do it, I'm definitely gonna have to request a sample, even if because they'll lie to your face and just be like, "Yep, it's that item. Don't worry." Blah blah blah, and then send you the completely wrong item. Oh, where is it? I have to show you because, learn from my mistake. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. Come on. Where is it? It happened a while ago, so I'm looking in my gallery. I'm trying to look for... I don't know. Maybe if you guys really want to see it, maybe I should just send it to you on Instagram or something, but I can't find it. Where the heck is it? I thought it was like right here. Would have been a good thing to show you too. Well, I can't believe I can't find it. Come on, is it here? Is it here? No. Okay, well, let's move on. I can't find it. Wish I could have found it to show you guys. But, anyways, I got burned. Actually, you know what? Lenny, could you do me a favor? I can't find the picture on the phone. Can you go in the garage real quick? And can you just grab one of those Arctic Airs that's piled up, please? It's piled up. You'll see it. You can't miss it. Yeah, in the garage. You'll see it. It's right there. I'm going to have my wife bring it to me, and I'm going to show you the actual box. You guys are going to die, okay? So, while she's getting that, can you apply to be ungated, though? Yeah, so, you can either be ungated in two ways. You can be ungated via... So, ungated, though, like in what? I mean, and you could apply and be auto ungated, or you can hold on. Where am I? I lost my place. Can't you be ungated? So you could be ungated in two ways. Just put it right here. So, all right. So let me answer this question and then I'll show you this, okay? Thank you. You can be ungated in two ways. One is auto ungated. One is submitting an invoice to Amazon, and but you have to order 10 of that unit. So 10 of that one item in order to get ungated in that brand or category. Check this out. This is what they sent to me, okay? What is wrong with this picture? You guys see what's wrong with this, right? Let me get it closer. I guess in China, that's how they spell Arctic air. All right? They sent me Arctic air. That's what they sent me, okay? So, learn from my mistake. And it doesn't even have as seen on TV anywhere. It doesn't look how faded that looks. All right? This is legit knockoff counterfeit garbage. And I still have 45 of them sitting in my garage. And RG, yes, I will still send you a box of them. But look, this is what happens in the business, man, you know? 550 down the drain. You know what I'm saying? Learn from my mistakes. This was probably my biggest bust. I don't make big mistakes often. This was a big mistake. You know what I mean? I make mistakes, but I don't make big mistakes. Like I don't make $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 mistakes. It doesn't happen. You can't afford to do that. You know what I mean? Not in this business. But I do make mistakes every day. Multiple mistakes. You know, and you learn from those mistakes. But this mistake? Bro. You know what I mean? So that was the answer to that there. Let's see, where am I on the chat? Yes, you can apply to be okay. Hey Richie, you should do a meetup in Florida. We will go hit some Walmarts. I gotta get to Florida first. You know, vacation's coming up, but you know, we're gonna go look at some properties in and around the state, Southern Florida, and take it from there. Inventory placement, most goes to the same warehouse. Yeah, but only per SKU. You know what I mean? We already covered that. They requested a manifest from a distributor. Yeah, you have to, if you can't get auto-ungated, then you would have to get an invoice or wait for Amazon to auto-ungate you. Because sometimes Amazon will auto-ungate you if you wait, if you have patience, you know? So you ungated now. So I don't know. So that's a broad question. So Amazon restricts you in certain categories and or brands, right? So there are some. I'm pretty much ungated in all categories, but there are some brands that there are some brands that I still cannot sell. Like I cannot sell Sesame Street, Ray Dunn. There's a couple of other like Little Tykes I can't sell. I could get invoices from a distributor, but there's nothing that's really interesting me to sell that. So I have done auctions and pallets, but have never sold on Amazon or eBay. I would love to try pallets, man. I heard there's some pretty big money in pallets. You know what I'm saying? Sup Hustler says Laurel Lee. What's up? Cool Sense says Dogecoin. You know, I think I might have already answered this one. You know, I prefer Bitcoin over everything. Dogecoin, I do own some. I do own Dogecoin. I've had Dogecoin for years and years now when it was trading at fractions of a penny just to hold on to it because it seems to always be a popular coin. And I don't want to get into the use case and, you know, all that stuff. But I do have some. But my money's best, and do your own research, not financial advice. My money's best invested into, you know, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and as of lately, Cardano, Cosmos. I like the cryptocurrency market a lot. Thank you, Richie. That is much appreciated. Yeah, no problem, Mrs. Miller. Glad I could help. Better buying decision come from the experience as well. Absolutely. It took me over 2 years to get really disciplined with sales rank because listen, let's face it. You go shopping, you see an item, and you want to buy it, right? You're like, oh my god, it's $7 and I can sell it on Amazon for $75. Holy crap! But the sales rank is like 8 million. You know, like in toys, like it would never sell. I mean, it would, but you'd probably rack up so many long-term storage fees that it might not even be worth it. Well, I mean, 7 to 75, maybe it's worth it because eventually it'll sell. You know what I mean? But I don't know. Bad example, but you know what I mean? The temptation is so great. Like you want to sell items. Like my target is to sell an item 30 days from check-in. 30 days from check-in. That's my goal. If it doesn't sell within 30 days, I'll look at the trends and see where the price is, and I'll lower my price a little bit, and I'll reevaluate after 60 days, right? If it still hasn't sold after 60 days, I have a decision to make. I can either I can either lower my price again and wait for 90 days, which is what I usually do. And then after 90 days, honestly, I'm probably going to sell it and either, break even or take a small loss. I won't take a big loss until 6 months. And that's just how I do business. You know what I mean? I'm in the business of selling, not of storing. So I want all my items in and out. That's what I do. Is it true you have to put a label on every single item? No. You do not have to put a label on every single item. Amazon will require you to label most items, but there are some items that Amazon still uses the barcode for. So it's really up to Amazon, and Amazon will tell you. Are you in any paid sourcing groups? Would refer to us. Let's see. RG answered that. Tell if you join membership. Sends bolos out every day. Yes, that is true. Great info. Thanks. Yeah, no problem. Oh, wow. So much information. I am so going to rewatch this a few more times and take notes. Yeah, listen, this doesn't cover everything. This is just an area where I can really touch base with everybody. Question. As an aspiring reseller, would you suggest Amazon or eBay? It's two totally different animals. I don't sell on eBay. I'm a little biased because I am a successful Amazon seller. Amazon is the adult and eBay is the baby, right? Amazon is the beast where you could sell. Like, imagine this. Imagine you have 1,000 items and 1,000 items sold on eBay in a single day and 1,000 items sold on Amazon in a single day. Here's the difference. With eBay, you're packing, prepping, and shipping every single item you sell on eBay. With Amazon FBA, you're taking all your items, you're sending them to Amazon, and Amazon's going to send them to all the customers and do all, if you choose, do all the packing, do all the prepping, and obviously they'll be doing the packing because they're storing it at Amazon. So listen, there are 6 and 7 figure sellers on Amazon, 8 figure sellers on Amazon. There's 6, 7 figures on eBay. It just really comes down to workflow and what you can handle. I prefer Amazon. The Amazon marketplace has the most sellers ever. And literally it's not even close. Like Amazon is here. And it's not like eBay is here. Like Amazon's here and like eBay's here. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a big gap from number 1 and number 2. It's not even, they're two totally different. Amazon's what I'm going with. What would you make it? Okay, even spell the name right? Yeah, they couldn't even spell the name right. It's crazy. I know. Wait till my daughter's 13. I know. She's going to be baka, 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 right? It's good for, Alibaba's good for drop shippers. Alibaba's only good, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I know. It's crazy, man. Ooh, Doge is over 8 cents. Look at that, huh? You think Doge will go to $1? I don't know. That would take a ton of money to push that to $1. So where do you start? And that by what website do you read to learn all the lingo? And what all these terms and things mean? My head is spinning. Heidi, I spent around 3 to 4 months watching YouTube videos. You know what I mean? That's what I did on my commute to work. I had so much time to sit on the train and watch videos. That's what I did. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I did. I just watched a lot of different resellers and saw the different styles and techniques that all those different resellers did. Receiving is slow. Is this normal? Sent the shipment last week and still not in. Yeah. Listen, shipments have been taking me almost 3 weeks. But that's why it's a constant game, right? You don't just want to send in a shipment and then wait for it. Like while that's being there, you want to stop prepping your next shipment. Send that in. And when that's in, like I literally have, I don't know, I think I might have 18 different shipments that still are not checked in yet. Like I'm waiting for the tidal wave to come, you know? Thanks for dropping that info. I've been learning on Amazon. Yeah, no problem. Listen, glad you're here. So when you say that you bought books from the library, do you just list them as a used book? If so, do used books sell very well? Yes and yes. So generally when you buy books from a library, like 9.9 out of 10 times, they're all going to be used. I finally subscribed. Although I've been following for a while, once income get back in the room, but jump back on that premium status. Much appreciated. Thank you for subscribing. And this is what I'll say to everybody out there. Now it's almost 6:30. We're getting ready for Super Bowl. And look, I still have to eat some actual dinner. And I'll say dinner, not dinner. We all know dinner, right? I will say this. Look, if you're just getting started with Amazon, you got to scan everything. You got to sacrifice. You got to put your all in. Like, you can't just scan 3 stores and be like, all right, well, this sucked. I'm not doing it, right? So this is what I'll say. Scan everything. And if you're watching this video now, please consider subscribing to my channel. I do upload 3 times a week. We do 3 lives per week. You know, you'll see my face 6 times a week, all in different types of hustles. And, you know, that's just what it is. You just got to get out there and do it. Guys, I really appreciate you being here, spending your Super Bowl Sunday night with me. Now, I hope everybody stays safe. If you're in the Northeast, you're in a bunch of snow. If you're in South Florida, you're enjoying the sun and the warm weather. Subscribe to the channel. Like this video. Share it out. Rewatch it. Whatever you're going to do. And hopefully, next Sunday, I will be on vacation, and I will have to see if it's going to be a live hustle or if we're going to be uploading a premiere hustle where I watch it with you. Either way, it's going to be uploaded. So I will talk to you guys soon. Peace out, everybody. Let's go, Brady. Ciao.